Today I'm going to talk about 3 parts of daily speech that we all use when describing or showing the position or state of something. Today I will tell you all about this, that, and the other. Although this subject might sound complicated and difficult to understand, it is in fact quite easy to explain the definitions of this and that. First of all, the word this refers to something that has recently been mentioned. A familiar thing or a popular topic will often be referred to as this. It is a thing that most people are aware of, or something that is easily recognizable. Something that is nearby or close at hand is often referred to as this. It is the nearest thing or the most obvious object that can be seen. The nearest thing to you that is being pointed out will often be referred to as this. Something you are holding or have in your hand will normally be referred to as this. For example, this pen, this watch, this hat. These objects are nearby and can clearly be seen. This can also be used to identify a specific person or thing that is being indicated or experienced. You might refer to a person as this. Don't listen to this person. He doesn't know what he's talking about. This town has really changed over the years. Something recently mentioned might be referred to, especially if it is something that many people are talking about. This new law they are introducing will really change the way we live our lives. The word this is a pronoun, which means it can be used as a way of identifying something in a specific way. This is the definition of this. Then we have the word that, which is a slightly more complex word, despite its seeming simplicity. That is a very common word in both writing and speaking. We use it as a determinator, a demonstrated pronoun, and a relative pronoun. We also use it as a conjunction to introduce clauses referring to that. As a determinator and pronoun, we often use that to point to a thing or person. We use it with singular nouns. The single person is often distant from the speaker and sometimes closer to the listener, or not visible to either the speaker or listener. What was that? Did you hear that noise? Don't touch that bike. It belongs to me. A thing being pointed out or referred to at a distance is often referred to as that. As a relative pronoun, we use that to introduce defining relative clauses. We can use that instead of who, whom, or which to refer to people, animals, and things. It is often seen as an informal way of pointing out a living creature or a person. It is worth noting that we are more likely to use that when referring to an animal or an object. In many situations, it might be seen as insulting or rude to describe a person as that. Who is that at the door? That is my friend. I really don't want to be seen in public with that. If we are discussing 2 things that are at different distances from us, we will often refer to the nearest thing as this, and the object furthest away as that. For example, this tree and that field. The field is much further away, so I will refer to it as that. Quite often the distance and location of objects will decide whether we describe it as this or that. The situation you are currently in will always be described as this moment, this situation, this time. It is now. It is the moment being discussed. If you want to describe the use or function of a certain thing, we will often use the word that. A wheelbarrow is a very useful thing that helps you move heavy objects around the garden. You are pointing out the use of that particular thing. In this case, the thing is a wheelbarrow. Finally, we have the word which is often used when we are talking about a third thing that might be introduced, or a second thing that is also being described or offered. The word is other. Put simply, this word refers to something that is next to or beside the main thing being discussed. You might talk about the other night or the other day. We are not referring to now or today. We are talking about the other day. In this sense, it is always a past event or moment. I saw you the other day in town. Perhaps you see someone from a distance with a person you don't recognise. You know who your friend is, but who is the other person? The other person is there but cannot be identified. Other is always something else or another thing. Something unknown is often referred to as the other. We often refer to the state of no longer being alive as being on the other side. That thing is mysterious and unknown. It is the other thing. When being offered a choice of two things, you might be asked to choose one or the other. You can't have both. You can only have one or the other. So, to clarify and make extra clear what I have talked about today, this is the thing being discussed or observed closely. That is the thing which is seen from a distance or from a point where it can't be seen or observed. And the other is whatever is added to it. The extra thing is unknown. It is an unknown event, something mysterious that remains in the shadow. It is the other.